Welcome to the Aligned Voices podcast. This is a space created by Healthy Aligned Living for honest, real conversations about healing, growth, and what it actually looks like to build a healthier life. Every episode gives you practical tips, supportive insights, and empowering ideas to help you move forward, no matter where you are in your journey. If you or someone you care about needs support, head to healthyalignedliving.com for HeyL programs, groups, and helpful resources. Just a quick reminder, this podcast is here to guide and inform, but it's not medical advice. Always talk to a qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your treatment or care plan. Take a breath, relax, and let's get into today's episode of the Aligned Voices podcast.
Welcome back to the Hall podcast, where we talk honestly about the mental health, healing, and finding purpose even when life feels heavy. Today's guest has a story that touches all of those things. He's an artist, entrepreneur, community leader, and someone who once walked the streets as a gang member but has put down his flag to help the youth at risk. Please welcome who has transformed his life in a powerful way, Phat Homie. Thank you for being with us today.
Hey, how's it going? I'm on here.
It's going good, really good, and we are really it's an honor to have you here with us. We really appreciate you being here. You as a community leader, a gang member, as Mehvi said, have put down your flag and you're helping youth at risk. And to a lot of our listeners who are struggling with addiction, burnout, or maybe feeling stuck, your story would definitely connect to what we talk about on this show.
Okay. Yep.
All right, let's get into your transformation and personal journey. So, I would like to ask for people who might only know you from your music or the social media, how would you describe Phat Homie today? What do you stand for?
I stand for family, loyalty, honesty, and for, what I'm working for is to see my people get on a better path. As I see in the streets, like I go downtown and I do my thing out there and whatever. I go handle food or whatever, money, whatever. And I see my people struggling. And now that I'm sober, I see it and it hurts. You know what I mean? It hurts on a different level for me. So it's very personal because I come from there, right?
That's powerful. I really hear the growth in that. Was there a specific moment when you realized the life you were living was going to cost you something you couldn't get back?
Oh yeah, I knew that right from the start. It was just a trap. Like me and my friends, we got trapped because I'm from the reserve also, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I moved from Edmonton to the reserve, I was still kind of homeless out there, but I had people like family out there, and we all kind of got caught up in it. And I've seen probably about 15 of my friends die in front of me from alcohol, from drunk drivers. Like we flipped in vehicles and stuff, and it's all from it's not even gang. That's mostly just from drugs and alcohol. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's this lifestyle of alcohol, drugs, and being on the dark side of things. It takes a lot from people, like mostly other people. Like right now in my life right now, I have maybe two friends that I grew up with, and the rest of them are gone. You know what I mean? And most of them could have been prevented if we weren't drinking.
I completely understand. And loss is something that, that really hits hard. And talking about your realization, when when that realization hit you, what did that moment feel like emotionally? What was
Uh,
going through you?
so much because I was having flashbacks of everything, and then like it was just just this just happened not too long, like 3 months ago when I came back from Mexico. I went to Mexico to try and figure something out. I came back and it's just the way things are. I don't know. It was tough. It was like a kick in the stomach. You know what I mean? Like what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's hard to explain how deep it goes because it goes deep right in, right? Like it's um because I'm still healing at the same time, right? So it's
Yes,
hard.
yes, yes.
It's kind of hard to
I
explain.
completely
I don't know
understand.
if I
Yes.
I don't know if I answered your question, but
Yes, you did.
it's hard
Yes, you
to.
did. And I completely understand because I have seen a lot of my friends go through such a situation. And
Yeah,
a lot of people don't usually talk about the emotional side of those turning points.
yeah,
So if I'm to ask you, looking back, do you feel like your transformation came from one big decision or from many small choices over time? And at what point did you start believing that a different future was actually possible for you?
Well, I've been trying for a long time. Like I've had a bunch of different companies, and like I've had a limo company, a food truck, I had my own store, I got my own clothing line, all this stuff. But for me to succeed is I couldn't do it because everything around me was blocking me. Like all the negative from the gang life and from all the deaths and all that was kind of eating me up inside, so I couldn't move forward in life. So for me to move forward in life is I had to try and figure out um how to heal myself without having to try and numb my pain with alcohol and drugs, because I've done that since I was 12 years old. I don't even know if I answered your question. I'm just going off.
No, no, you are certainly answering answering all the questions.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yep.
maybe you
Yeah,
wanted to
I
add something?
yeah, I totally agree with what you just shared. Building on that, I'm curious, like you have built business and the music career after prison. What did those spaces give you that the streets never could?
Sense of being a part of something that meant something. You know what I mean? Like being part of
Yeah,
something. Like I built it. Like
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I built that.
Hmm.
Everything I've done for my kids, right? So, and I've been trying for years and years. Like I'm 43 years old, right? And like I've been numbing pain since I was 12 years old. So when I sobered up, I think it was the year before my mom had passed. I sobered up for 5 months, and in those 5 months, I realized that none of that pain was numbed. It was just put aside until I was ready to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Because
totally.
the addictions never hit, like never took it away. It just put it aside until I was ready. And I've been doing that since I was 12 years old. So like
Hmm.
right now, as me being sober, it's hard for me to deal with emotions and stuff like that because I don't know how to deal with it. I wasn't taught to deal with it. So that's why I'm trying to bring light to the addictions and trying to get people to follow what I'm doing, because life is more than just drinking and getting drunk. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. I could go on.
Yeah, we hear that certainly. I think it's those experiences that has, shaped you and transformed you, and this contrast is really important. From what we collect from this conversation, it really shows, what has changed for you on the inside too. So
Yeah.
speaking about addiction and discipline and the mindset, you have been very open about leaving alcohol behind. Why
Yes.
did staying sober become such a crucial part of your personal transformation?
So I noticed a lot of things when I was sober, and then because when I drink, I used to do a lot of drugs, right?
Mhm.
And I would stay up for days, and my mind was not right, and my health was fading because my kids are getting older now, right? And they used to watch me drinking, so I wanted to show them the real side of me, my sober side, because they never got to really meet that guy. Because when my kids were coming into this world, I was like on some like I kept taking losses and losses, so I was mostly in depression. So they never
Mhm.
got to see the happy side of me. So when I'm sober, I'm mostly a happy guy. Like I'm happy, right? So
Yeah.
I wanted my kids to see sobriety. I wanted my kids to see what can be done when you're sober. Because three of my kids are in their 20s, right? And already they were already getting into the drugs and alcohol and stuff. And I kind of just sat there and didn't pay no attention. And then I realized my daughter was hooked on perks, and I was watching her detox, and it broke my heart. And to see this, yeah, it's hard to talk about, but mostly for my kids.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Now, a lot of people use substances to escape pain or trauma. Like, from your experience, what do alcohol or drugs take away from a person rather than give?
Uh, time takes
Absolutely.
away time, and that you never get back.
Yeah, I agree with
Uh,
that.
my younger kids, I had to walk away from them because of the gang. It's been 9 years, and I'm finally getting them back, and they're finally coming home, and I'm just working on things for them. But for when they left, they're in diapers, and now my oldest son is third. Well, not my oldest. My youngest oldest son is 13, and when he left, he was 5 years old, and at that time, that's gone. I'll never get back. And the time that I wasted getting to where I'm at was just a complete wrong decision that I made in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. When life do gets stressful or overwhelming now, so what practices or habits help you stay grounded and aligned?
Music helps me lots. And when I'm getting the urge to drink or anything, I grab a bottle and I'll dump it out. And then it'll just every time I dump it out, I just think about what if I drank that bottle, where I would be right now. Because that's all it would take is one bottle for me to completely up everything that I built. And when I'm sober, I get a lot of positive what's the word? Hold on. A lot of positive people coming my way and a lot of people trying to help me better myself as I go with my music and my clothing line and everything. So better opportunities. I get more opportunities when I'm sober. And if like say if I fell off tonight, everything that I built in the past 3 months, it would just crumble. And even though if I only drank one night, which never happens, it would all crumble. And that's just how it goes. Like even though it has nothing to do with what I'm doing, if I drink and do drugs, it'll just take everything away from me. And it's always done that. It's done that to me my whole life, you know?
And that really makes a lot of sense. And especially for our listeners who are trying to build a healthier routine, I think they should rely on something that helps them heal, that helps them transform, rather
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
being addicted to a substance or alcohol. I think it's always good to develop healthier routines. I think
I'm
that
trying to
helps.
get to him and yeah, I haven't made it there yet, but I'm getting there. But most of the time, like I write a lot. So when I'm sitting there and I'm just in my mind, I just write it down and it helps me. Like it helps me like let go of that whatever has been like whatever's holding on to me inside. I feel it and I'll write it and then it just kind of it's like I kind of let it go. You know what I mean? Like I'll write maybe a story or I'll write a song and then I'll put that into my music. And that's why my music is it's 100% real because it comes from my heart.
Can't
Even,
agree more.
yeah, completely agree with that. It's so important. If a young person listening right now feels trapped by their environment, what's one truth you learned the hard way that you wish someone have told you earlier?
There's a lot. There's a lot. Like I didn't go to school or nothing. I wish I stayed in school. That's one big thing. And I wish somebody was out there that told me that shit gets real for real, you know? Because a lot of people are out here playing and when shit gets real, they're really not there for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, just yeah, family's most important.
Yeah,
I think that
that's
yeah.
that's powerful. Now, I would love to dive into another side of your journey. That's the incredible work you have been doing for the community and youth at risk. You have been quietly given out hundreds of meals to people in need.
Yeah.
What does it feel like when you are face to face with someone receiving that support?
It's it hurts because I wish I had more money so I could help more, you know? But like it feels good to give back. It's giving back is never enough. You know what I mean? With
Mm-hmm.
with with what I got and with how much help is needed out there, it feels good to help as much as you can, but it hurts that you can't help more.
Yeah,
You
it
know what I
feels
mean?
like it's not, we are not doing enough.
Not doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a
Yeah.
lot of people there that can help, but they would rather not.
Yeah, that's powerful. When you speak to the people dealing with the addiction or homelessness, what do you hope they feel in that moment?
I just hope they feel what I'm saying is 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 from my heart and I want them to know that when I say something I mean it and there's a lot of people out there that do help and I just want them to know that we're out here trying to help them but it's hard you know what I mean
Mhm.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah,
I
you
just
absolutely did.
okay.
Absolutely. I hear you. Community work can be emotionally heavy. Like, what keeps you going when it gets tough?
Honestly my kids yeah because I don't want them to and it's not only my kids it's everybody like the youth. I feel like I have to be the one to show them that there's a better way and like I come from nothing and I made it to where I'm at with hard work. Like I've always had like I used to get jobs. I've been working for a long time and you know I've had my own companies, you know, just yeah, just I just want them to. I just want these kids to see that you can make it. Yeah, you can make it from nothing. Because you know what I mean. I did it, and my older brother showed me how to. Like my older brother, he's a genius. But my older brother showed me how to make money and how to survive.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that I want to teach the youth is how to survive.
Yes, definitely. Yep, couldn't agree more. Looking back, what's the biggest difference between how you leading in your past life and how you lead youth today and community members?
Well, that's easy. Before, when I used to see a lost kid, I would just try to get him to help me make money. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Allegedly. But I'm on some other where I don't even want them to get involved in the kind of lifestyle that we did get. Yep.
What was the biggest difference between leading in your past life and how you lead youth and community members today?
Okay, let's make this real simple. I used to lead him off a cliff, and now I want him to stay away from that cliff. You know what I mean? Like I was this life that I realized what I was doing was just a dead end, and either you end up dead or in jail. And I just ended up where I always ended up,
Mm-hmm.
back on addictions and back on alcohol and back to depression, and you know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, so now I'm gonna my plan is to guide these kids into having a real life where they don't have to watch their back and they don't have to worry about tomorrow.
Yeah, I love what you just said. Can you share a moment from your community work that really reminded you why this work matters?
Okay. Um I can't really think of a specific. I got one of my little brothers, he used to be like he's one of my last friends left. I went to school to become a welder, and when I did, I came back and I apprenticed him, and now he's a welder. And he now he has his own business, and he has his own. He bought his own land, he bought his own house, and he's got his own kid. He takes care of his kids. That made me proud, because he was lost like me, always into addictions and depression, and he didn't know he found God too. So for him to go from where we come from to where he's at now, I'm not taking credit for it. But for me to show him a path, a better way, I'll take credit for that.
I think that was quite a contribution because enlightening someone, showing somebody, transforming someone's life. I think there can be no better good than that, right? Like if someone wants to get there and has lost his way through something, I think that's quite a good thing to do. Yeah. So I would come to the philosophy. You often say that you were born from the land, sharpened by the street. How do those words guide you in your life today?
Yeah, yeah, I was yeah, on the like to get to where I'm at right now, I had to go through a lot of betrayal. I had to go through a lot of loss, and I had to go through a lot of things I didn't understand because I didn't go to school or anything for that. Like what I was taught was always to be kind to people, even regardless, like even with all the betrayal and all that stuff that comes with alcohol and drugs and depression, all that mental health, because people can't really see the good in people. I was always taught to see the good in people and treat them how you'd want to be treated, right? I don't know if that answers
I
the
read
question.
you. So adding to that, how do your roots influence the way you lead and make choices? And how do you strike a balance between the traditional values with navigating urban life?
Yeah. So my mom taught me about respect, and everything my mom taught me is how I live today. Like how she was towards people, and how she approached life, and how she never gave up. She fought until the day she died. And I was there and I seen her fight. She fought rape. She fought from when she was a kid right till the day she died. And that's how I live. I fight for every day, because that's just how we're taught, and that's
Like,
how I
yeah.
that's how I try to teach, right? Yeah,
And
that answers the
that's
question.
what shapes us, right? Our beliefs, our faith, our cultural values, and what has been passed down to us is something that really shapes us and makes us what we are. And I get it, I get it. So how does your culture help protect you from falling back into destructive habits? How those cultural values help you?
So my culture, like I'm not really into the Aboriginal culture because it wasn't around growing up.
Okay. Okay.
Because of the residential schools and stuff, kind of hit my reserve pretty hard. So like I can't speak my language too good because it was kind of taken away from us. But like I've always believed in God, and like I don't go to church or nothing like that, but I just know He's with me. You know what I mean? And I keep Him with me. And that's basically where all I got for culture was basically the street culture. That's just how it always was, because the streets has its own culture, right?
Yes, it does. And it
It does,
teaches you
yeah.
a lot. It
It
teaches you a
does.
lot.
Teaches you a lot.
Yes,
Yeah,
the hard way.
nothing's ever
And
easy.
you are shaped and strengthened so much that you can beat odds.
Yeah, yeah. I've always been the underdog, you know.
So, talking about streets and the creation of music or the ventures or the businesses, you wear many hats like artist, a label owner, jeweler, community leader,
Yeah,
and father. So,
yeah.
how do you manage all
And
these
I got a
roles?
jewelry. Yeah.
So, how do you manage all these roles while protecting your mental health?
I don't know. I don't know. I just get up and do what I gotta do, and when I can sleep, I sleep, and then I get up and then do what I gotta do. You know, I just do what I gotta do.
And so this is off late, or you have always been like this, like throughout?
I've always been like this since I was a
Throughout.
kid. Yeah, I just do what I gotta get done.
So
Yeah,
you are a go-getter, right? Like if
yeah,
I want to do this, if I want to shape myself, I got to do it. I'll get up
yeah,
and I'll do it.
and I'll do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My older
I
brother taught me that.
wow.
Yeah, me and my older brother. My brother's 1 year older than me, and man, he's such a genius. When we were kids, like we were kids, we had jobs. Like we're delivering flyers and stuff at this little pizza shop, and
Mhm.
they used to free pizzas to deliver flyers, and then they would pay us. And my older brother used to like, yeah, and this is when we were 11 years old. When we were 11 years old, I already had a job. I was delivering the sun paper and stuff. And
Wow.
like, yeah, that was our first job. And then we didn't get paid. And then we started doing other things. So whatever we did, my brother, he always guided me through it and always made sure I understood the reason why we're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Me and my brother, we've been on our own since we were 11. So he was 12. I've been on my own since I was 11, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how have your experiences in music and entrepreneurship changed your perspective on life compared to your past on the streets?
Well, the music is taking me places I never thought I'd see. For my mental health, it helps me get a lot off my chest. And I've always done music basically alone. So I like doing things alone. Everything with the gang was always everybody involved, and there was always drama. So now, right now, there's no drama in my life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's very important. But from the music and the business, I've actually tried to help that gang. I tried to help them to get into the better lifestyle with starting businesses, but they're one track minded, so I couldn't get through to them. You know what I mean? Because some people
Hmm.
are not one track minded, and I had to separate myself from that so I could continue on chasing my dreams.
So music became a more than just an expression for you. So you
Yeah.
basically turned this for healing and leadership, if I read it correct.
Yes, we are trying to. Me and my brothers that I got left, we are trying to create a lane for Aboriginal artists in any field, like modeling, even if they're painters or whatever. I'm trying to create a lane for them to have a future chasing dreams. So that's what me and my brothers are trying to do. We're trying to create a lane. We're trying to make a path for where Aboriginals can go and just be themselves and be free and learn business and learn about themselves, basically. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the main goal.
Basically giving them a direction, right? So
Yeah, and it's not only Aboriginal kids; it's any kids out there that are lost
mhm,
or any kids that get caught up or they think they have nowhere to go. That's where I want to be. I want to be that place where kids could go and be themselves.
I agree. And that's what is needed in today's world where there are influence of drugs, alcohol, even digital media. So
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Yep, I really appreciate you sharing that. Right now, let's focus on youth at risk you are mentoring today. Like when you work with youth at risk today, what part of your old self do you see in them?
I see that sparkle in their eye where they're looking like when someone looks up to you, you could see it, right? Like that what is it? Inspiration, like the it's hard to explain. I can't explain it. It's like my older brother, right? I idolized my brother, and I've always looked at, and I followed him to the end of the road, and to see these kids, like when I go talk to kids, and
Mm-hmm.
and they listen, and they
Yeah.
actually they
Mm-hmm.
actually want to do something, and yeah, kind of that's what I see. I see like like they have something to look up to, maybe something to look forward to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you have shared so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think like young people are really searching for when they turn to gangs, substances, or violence?
What are they looking for? Family.
Yeah, like what do they think? Like why they turn to like gangs and substances?
They're just. I think what they're looking for is they're looking for family. They're looking for somewhere to go. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah,
And
like they need someone like who supports them.
yeah, or like,
Mhm.
well, and out there, like, it's mostly negative. You know what I mean? And that's where this
Mhm.
comes in, where we're gonna do the positive thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, got it.
Yeah, because I know
So
when we were kids,
mhm,
we're all looking for our dad. Like
yes.
somebody to guide us, some guidance. Basically, is what they're
Mhm.
looking for.
Yeah,
Like somebody to tell me
someone, yeah, like
somebody.
show the path. Yeah.
And I've showed a lot of kids the wrong path. Like I own up to that. You know what I mean? I own up to that, and this is why these next generations very important that they don't follow that same path.
So you just spoke about the family, the support system that they are looking for.
Yeah,
So what do you think are the biggest mistakes? Because I'm sure parents or the community or maybe their loved ones, some of them might definitely be trying to help them. So what is the biggest mistakes do you think adults make when they are trying to help?
trying to force them to do something they don't want to do, like trying to force things and not being there when they should be. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes is when people they just neglect their kids. Like they're there for them, but when things happen, they're just not there. They're not there emotionally. And there's a lot of people out there that can't express their emotions. Like I grew up with a stepdad, but he was never really there for me and my older brother. He was mostly there for his kids, right? But he was there, but he could never be like he was never emotional or in any type of way. Like he was tough. Do you know what I mean?
So he
Like
was
he was
not
a
connected,
tough,
basically. He was not connected to
tough
you
guy. He was
emotionally
not
and
connected,
not around.
and he was never emotional. Like in our family, we barely ever hugged or anything like that, right?
Mhm.
And that's a big thing too. Like kids need hugs. I need a hug. Give me a hug, bro. Yeah,
Hugs can
but yeah,
heal, you know.
yeah.
They can. So you are working with youths at risk. So when you come face to face with a young person who's angry, who's lost, what do you try to give in that particular moment?
Just some strong words. I just speak from the heart at the
Yeah, of
moment. I
and
never
and I,
know.
I I definitely
I never
want you to
know.
speak from the heart.
I never know what I'm gonna say at that time because every kid is different and you can see it in their eyes. So when that time comes, I just talk to them from the heart and I can feel how they're feeling because I've been there. So I kind of know what to say. So it's not ever the same thing to any other kid. It's always different because every kid's different, right?
So
So but
so
it's
if
always
yeah,
always from the heart.
so
Yeah.
if like I want to highlight something here, so it would it be empathize with the situation, like
Yeah.
understand
It
him,
depends, yeah, it depends on
yeah,
the situation.
empathize with the situation, yes.
I totally agree with that. Also, can you tell us about an experience with a young person that had a lasting impact on you and your purpose?
I got a lot of negative moments like that. The positive is just coming now. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just starting to come now. But one thing that kind of sticks with me is my little nephew he had lost one of his friends, right? And on my reserve, we've lost a lot of people all the time. And when I saw my little nephew crying, it kind of brought back what was going on. This is one of the turning points. I noticed that the cycle was recycling itself like it was, like the youth were gonna start dropping again. They're gonna start dying again, and that situation I didn't want. And I see my nephew, he had to bury his friend, and it reminded me of me when I was a kid burying one of my friends. And that's one of the turning points where I was like, no, I can't let this cycle continue. Do you know what I mean? So that's one of them. And most, like I said, most of my memories are negative, right? So, yeah, that's one of the turning points. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's what came to my mind.
You totally did it.
Okay.
Yes. So you did mention a lot about how you show the, youth a direction or help them see a future. But
Yeah.
how easy is it for them to see a future when their environment keeps showing them the same story? Like they have a very a negative environment or not something where they could be nurtured or groomed. So how do you help them see a future when the environment is not as it should be?
I've um I just because most of the people, they see what I go through, or they've seen what I've gone through and where I came from, and the ones that don't, I just try to talk to them and let them know that, there's another way out. There's another path that can be taken, but it's never shown. You have to find it. You know what I mean? You have to find that path. And I could talk about it all day, but and I could preach to them, but they're not really gonna listen. But if you tell them that there is a path, they might try and find it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Do they require a lot of a frequent communication than compared to others, like youth whose environment is not like they something where they can be nurtured? Do they need a lot of frequent communication, or
Yeah,
how does it?
they do at the same time, but they really do have to learn things the hard way too at the same time. But not as hard as we learned. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like not the hard times that we went through, but they still have to learn things the hard way
Mm-hmm.
before they get to where they're going, because you have to, you know? Like it's just that's just part of life. But for me to make it easier for them to go through those hard times is what I'm trying to do, and show them that they don't have to go through this part of this, but they're gonna have to go through this. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
they don't have to go sell drugs and carry guns, but they are gonna go through losses. They're gonna lose people in their lives. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to show them. Like there's some things you can't avoid in life that you have to go through, but the things you can avoid will put you through harder times than anything.
So for someone listening right now who feels trapped in their past or their environment, what do you want them to hear today? What would your message be for them?
My message would be, put down the bottle, put down the drugs, detox yourself, get through it. And then when you're sober, deal with it, because it's always going to be there. No matter how long you want to drink your life away, it's always going to be there. 20 years later, 30 years later, you deal with it now, you'll be better off sooner.
And those are the most powerful words.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I hear you. What's one truth you have learned the hard way that you wish someone had told you earlier?
Crime don't pay. Just kidding. I don't know. I've been through a lot. So, and I'm still learning things still.
So I know we are bombarding you with questions, but I really
Yeah.
can't help asking. So how do you explain, that your past does not have to define your future? So for listeners who, we want to actually pass them the message that whatever your past was is definitely does not define your future. So
For
you.
sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, like, I've done a lot of things. Like I said, I've done a lot of things in life. And like, I used to do other things that used to hold me down, and people used to judge me for it. And people used to talk down on what I was doing a lot, which put me in depression itself. And it kind of kept me there, even though I walked away from that. And people still kept bringing up my past, but you just don't let people keep you there. Don't let
Yes.
people keep you where you're at because you're not there no more. And if they don't see it, it doesn't matter. As long as you know yourself that you're moving forward, then just move forward. keep moving forward. Never mind the past. The past will always be there. You can always remember it, but just don't remember it on a negative note. Try and remember the positive things that happened in life instead, and just move forward.
Yes.
It's how I deal with things.
So from your the conversation that we are having, I understand that you encourage cutting off negative influences even when it's painful. So for
Yeah.
youth who are not able to do this, what would you tell them? How would you put this across to them?
Well, to get to where you're going, to get to get rid of the negative around you, you have to push a lot of people away, and it gets lonely because most of the time you're by yourself. But that's when you realize the most is when all these negative things are around you. You'll never pay attention to it until you isolate yourself and then look out and look at the negative from from where you're sitting. Instead of sitting with them, pull yourself out of that negative and sit there and watch that negative. And then when you're watching that negative, then you'll see that that's not what who you are or what you're about. You
Yes,
have to
and
put yourself you have to pull yourself away from all of it. If it's everybody you know that's doing this, you got to walk away from everybody you know. You
yeah,
have
and
to.
you would not learn how much you are worth until unless you push these negative influences away.
Yep. And a lot of the negative influences come at you, especially when you're doing good. When you start doing
Yes.
good, and it's your own friends and your own family. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was on a reserve the other day, and I'm sober. They know that, but people try to bring alcohol around me, right? Because
Yes.
they know it's for me to slip, because they don't want to see me do good. And that's the reality of life. Your own family will not want to see you do good, and that's reality. And if you're doing good in life, they'll try to bring you down, and this is why you gotta isolate yourself from people like that. You know what I mean? If you're sober and you're chilling, and one of your friends comes over and says, "Hey, bro, here, have a rail," that's not a friend. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That,
Ideally, there should be a support system, right? And not push
yeah,
you
yeah,
where you don't want to be, right?
yeah. So now, like right now, I'm chilling. Like I'm sitting in my vehicle. I got my little nephew with me. I'm keeping him sober. How old are you? 15? 15 years old. He doesn't drink. I got my other nephew with me. His name's Hunter. I told him, I said, "You're not selling coke, you're gonna sell gold." So he's working at my jewelry store. So these two, I got sober and doing things. And my friend Mike, that's sleeping beside me here, I just picked him up in Edmonton, and I'm bringing him back on a sober path with me. And
That's incredible.
that's what I'm doing. Hey. But
You're
yeah,
keeping everyone on the right track, and that really
I'm
counts.
just the ones that were there for me when I needed it, when I needed sober support, that were there for me, and just my close family, and everybody else that wants to follow, they can follow.
Yeah.
We got like on my reserve, I got
Mhm.
this one generation. They're in their early 20s, and I'm getting them off the alcohol, and I'm teaching them how to build credit, and I'm teaching them how to invest in things. So right now, one of my little brothers, his credit score is like 780 or something like that. He passed my credit score. I'm like, what the? But that's what I was teaching him, right? Like,
Yeah.
even I kind of turned into a hater for a second. I'm like, what? What do you mean your credit score is better than mine? But that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to teach kids like how to build their credit and where to start. We're actually opening up. Me and my friend Pat in Grand Prairie, we're opening a learning center. It's a fab shop. Like, we're gonna have welders, mechanics, pipe fitters, electricians coming through there, and I'm just gonna go pick random people and bring them there, and I'm gonna teach them, and we're gonna get their blue books for them. Like, we're gonna do mostly with the youth, but I'm gonna get people off the streets too. Like, I'm gonna go find somebody that wants to work that's in the streets. I'm gonna go get them, and I'm gonna bring them to this learning program, and I'm gonna teach them how to weld or do electrician or something like that. Right? Give them a life skill.
Yes, you're going to empower them in the right way.
Yes.
I agree
Yeah.
with what you just said.
Yeah.
Now that we have already talked about the journey, your community work, and the connection with the youth, now
Yeah.
let's look ahead, the impact you want to leave and the legacy you want to create. So, what kind of legacy do you want to leave for Indigenous youth?
I want them to I want them to get along. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get
Mhm.
our people to get along, because our people, they hate each other so much. I don't know why. But so I connected with music. I connected Like I'm doing a song right now with a guy from Vancouver. He's a native from Vancouver. I did a song with the guy from Saskatchewan, and I'm just doing a song with a buddy from Winnipeg. So that's right there. I connected 4 provinces. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring them together because Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, they got their own Aboriginal gangs. And I know because I was part of one. But we're trying to break that, how they're all separated. We're trying to break that separation and try to get them to come together, like one by one, if it takes that. You know what I mean? So that's the legacy I want to leave behind, is unity.
Yeah, I really appreciate all the insights you have shared so far.
Yep.
So, what would success look like for you 10 years from now?
What would success look like for me? Having my own facility where people can come, like I said, with the music and the arts and stuff. That's one of my goals. And then the other training facility for everybody, right? In the
Yes.
oil field industry where for careers. My goal would be to have at least 20 youth that have 20 or 30 youth. There would be more than that, but in 10 years, but that's what I want people to end up with careers with what we're doing. Me, I'm good. I feel good. You know, I already feel successful, but I just want a big house. That's it. That's it. One big house. I don't know if I answered you right. I don't know.
Oh, you did. And we could see honesty in all of them. So, coming to the world of substance and addiction, what is the truth about the world of substance use and addiction? Most people outside of it never get to see or understand.
Yes, where I'm from, we're kind of taught that that's just the way of life. I grew up with parties. I grew up
Mhm.
with a lot of nonsense, a lot of negative. A lot
So,
of people
so
don't have that option to not drink because it's kind of embedded at the home. It's embedded at at your grandma's place. It's at your auntie's place. It's at families everywhere you go. Like that's how it was when I was growing up. I would go to my aunties and they'd be partying there. I go home, they'd be partying there. I go to my cookums, they'd be partying there. But it wasn't like every day, you know what I mean? But there was always parties around everywhere, right? It's kind of just how we are, how we grew up. It's a little bit different these days, but that's a good thing, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so that brings us to the end of the question. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. We really appreciate your time and your openness. This conversation really meant a lot to all of us. And I'm sure even to the listeners who are listening, I think there will be a lot of things that they can, take away from the conversation that we had today.
If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our other social media platforms. We have linked everything in the caption below. That's where you can stay connected with us, watch
Okay.
our future episodes, and join the Hall community as we keep having this important conversation about mental health, healing, and purpose.
Thank you for being a part of the journey with us. We'll see you in the next episode of Hall Podcast. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
To stay connected, visit our website and follow Healthy Aligned Living on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for more conversations, insights, and updates. If you would like to reach out, you can contact us by phone at 1-866-213-0518 or email us at info@healthyalignedliving.com. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might benefit from it as well.